everybody, welcome to the Outer Rim Rookie, a beginner's journey to joining the 501st and Rebel Legion. My name is Rob Williams. Today is hopefully a somewhat conclusion to this costume, Ten Numb. I'm hoping to finish this thing and get it approved and just kind of get on to trooping in this bad boy. It has been a while since I've had to talk about Ten Numb. Part of it had to do with how busy I've been with work and family and the holiday, and a lot of it had to do with waiting for approval, or in this case, lack of approval. The process of getting a costume submitted by the Rebel Legion is a long one, and in my opinion, a little too long. It's one of the frustrating parts about this whole system. When you submit a costume to the Rebel Legion, first you have to fill out the form, like I showed you with the Ten Numb costume. Link below if you want to see how it's done. Fill out the form, and then it's sent in to the recruitment officer of your base. That recruitment officer will take a look at the pictures, make sure everything's there, just give it a quick once over, not to examine it too deeply unless there are some glaring mistakes. Once they give it a look over, they then submit it to the Rebel Legion. The Rebel Legion will then find the appropriate people to judge the costume. So if you've got an X-Wing costume getting approved, they'll find X-Wing pilots to take a look at it and judge it. If you've got a Mon Mothma or a Jedi, they'll find Mon Mothmas or they'll find Jedis to take a look over the costume and give it approved. When it comes to Ten Numb, there's not a lot of Ten Numbs out there, and that was a bit of a challenge. But despite there not being a lot of Ten Numb costumes, whether you have a fringe character like Ten Numb or a very well-known character like an X-Wing pilot, the process is extremely long. And my hope is, over time, they'll change that process. This is one of the biggest complaints I get from members of our base or other bases. The process of approval is too long. My process took months for it to get looked at. So I finally got word that somebody was looking at my costume and that they were going to have it looked at much like a B-Wing pilot costume, with some slight alterations because it is Ten Numb. After a while, they finally gave me a list of things that needed to be changed. It was rejected, and here are the things you need to change or alter. One of the suggestions they gave me was to have like a forum post or a WIP, a work in progress, to kind of open up to show other people what I'm doing so people give feedback while I'm doing it. I've been given that advice in the past quite a lot, but I found in a lot of the forum posts, especially with fringe characters, nobody reads the forum posts or the work in progress if they're not familiar with it. I don't get a lot of feedback. So with Ten Numb, I didn't even bother. But it might be a suggestion for you down the road to save yourself a little bit of time. And if you have a more popular costume like an X-Wing pilot or a Jedi, you might get some more feedback that way. So something to think about. So right now, I'm going to go through the list of what needs to be changed with this costume. And then I'm going to spend some time working on it. And then in about a few hours, James is going to come by and help me with the photos. One of the biggest problems I had when submitting this project, again, was getting the proper photo. I was by myself and I was trying to take photos that I felt were great. But when I looked back at the photos and looked at their concerns or their questions about the costume, I noticed that a lot of this could have been avoided with a better photograph. So, that being said, it's always great to have a second person there to kind of assist you and be just a second pair of eyes. So let's go through the list of what needs to be changed with this costume and then change it. Let's do this. Alright, I got a list right here. Let's take a look at it. Number 1, adjust the back of your flak vest to the correct shape with longer visible straps. One of the biggest concerns they had with this one was that the back of this vest was too high up. It needs to be brought down. And if you take a look at some pictures of Ten Numb or even other B-Wing bombers, their flak vests hang quite low. So with this one, this is an easy fix. I'm going to just lower the flak vest. I might have to remove some Velcro, and I'll probably lower it down about 4 or 5 inches. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to do a quick measure. Number 2, adjust the belt and flak vest to show the center scallop point where the flight harness attaches to the flak vest. So what they're talking about is making sure that this part is visible. This is the scallop point they're talking about. And this is one of those things where the bright photograph would have prevented this. It was done properly in real life, but in the photograph, it was hard to see. So there you go. Another reason why you should take the proper photo and have a pair of eyes helping you out. Number 3, update the white rectangle on the bottom left of the flak vest to include a long multi-pin connector, yada, yada, yada. Another issue when it came to the proper photograph. What they're talking about is make sure this piece is on there, which it was. Unfortunately, the photograph did not show that. Take a better photograph, I think, is the lesson here again. Adjust the location of the chest box so you see the 2 horizontal ribs sewn into the front panel of the flak vest. In this one here, another issue with photography, making sure that we can see these 2 ribs. When I put this on, you can see it. It is very visible. But in the photograph I took, it was far too low. You couldn't see the ribs. But when you take it head on, there it is. So again, make sure I take a proper photograph. Number 5, adjust the gaiters to fit with the seam in the front center so the buckle sits off center to the outside of the front seam. So basically make sure the gaiters are in the right spot. Typically the gaiters are in the right spot. I needed that second pair of eyes again to help me line it up properly. It moved as I was adjusting things and taking pictures and moving around. It moved, unfortunately, and I didn't even notice that in the pictures that I sent. So I just got to make sure those gaiters are proper, nice. Bit of a picky one, but if it's not there in the picture, they don't know that. Number 6, costume requires boots without visible laces, buckles, straps, and other ornamentation. Now, this issue here took me the longest to fix, but was one of the easiest ones to fix because all you needed to do was buy new boots. The boots I had before had laces and they were poking out at the bottom. Since you can't have visible laces, I needed to buy new boots. I had some jack boots from the Wilrow Hood costume, but unfortunately I lost those. I don't know where they went. I think I lost them at a con in Victoria. So I had to get some new ones. So that's where these come in. I was able to get some new jack boots. I might have to remove this buckle here, but the gaiters will completely cover this. And I have some boots for my Wilrow Hood costume as well. So it's a 2 birds, 1 stone. But unfortunately, this took me about a month and a half to 2 months to bring into Vancouver. Number 7, Ten Numb appears to have 6 belt flares and all loops are full. I didn't notice this one. One of the few things I missed in the research when doing Ten Numb. This is a flare here. In my Nine Nun costume, there's only 4 in the belt. Fortunately, I have 2 more ready to go as it is, so I'll just slide them in the empty loops and problem solved. Okay, number 8, attach the face mask in the screen use configuration. Basically, in the photograph I was taking, I took the mask off. I just held it. I didn't want to block anything in the photograph, so I just kind of held it in my hand. They wanted me to put it on. So I might have to take 2 photos, one with it on and one with it off. In the movies, he is wandering around with it around his neck, so let's wander around with it around my neck, like I would at a con. So that was just me misunderstanding the situation. I guess I could have taken a photo. I find that one a little bit picky, but I guess for them, they need to know that I can actually go around my neck. The real positive of this, though, is it didn't find any problems with the mask itself. I felt I built this really well, and it was all placed in the right spots. The hoses went in the left and the right, or wherever it should have went. So I'm pretty happy that they found that the mask itself was decent. I even took close-up pictures of the mask just to show them. So that helps. So there are the 8 things I need to work on and fix. Some of them are really easy. I've just slide into the belt loop or just take me 2 seconds to adjust. And other things, just take the proper photograph. If there's any lesson to take off of this experience, is make sure you take the proper photograph. So let's get to it. Let's adjust some of the things. I think the biggest thing I need to work on is the flak vest and make sure I slide it down a few inches in the back. Let's do that right now. All right, so Jamie's come and gone, and he helped me get all the photos done. We went over this like crazy. We took a look at every single piece of their concerns they had last time, made sure there's no more new concerns, checked over the costume standards, checked over the pictures, looked at it like Santa Claus, checked the list twice. Now I just have to submit it and cross my fingers that it gets approved. I should be happy about this. I should be happy that I got the job done, but I'm really not right now. I'm just kind of concerned this will take months in advance for them to look at it. Just look at it. Never mind approve, just look at it. And this isn't a criticism on any of the judges, it's a criticism on the process. The Rebel Legion really need to work on improving the speed of the application process, of the judging process. With thousands and thousands of members of the Rebel Legion throughout the world, it should not take 4 to 5 months for somebody to at least just look at the costume. It's my biggest criticism, as well as my biggest, I don't want to say warning, but just a heads up for those who are trying to become a member of the Rebel Legion. The process of application and costume approval is a little bit too long. So you're going to have to really be patient with this one. Double check all the standards, double check you got the pictures right the first time, which I learned, which is something I should have improved on. But it's going to take a while. And until the Rebel Legions figure out a way to streamline things, this is the system it is now. So good luck for you if you're submitting your costume or submitting a new costume if you've already a member. So other than that, now's the waiting game. Cross your fingers. I'll keep you updated, hopefully soon, on if Ten Numb is approved. And if not, we'll try it again. Let's keep going. All right. It is February, long weekend, family day here in BC. Just had an amazing sandwich. I'm really I'm excited about the sandwich. But do I have anything in my teeth? Hang on. Okay, I'm good. Nothing in my teeth. But 2 days ago, Valentine's Day, I got word Ten Numb has been approved. Super excited. Yeah, I'm official Ten Numb of the Falcon-based Rebel Legion. I've got 3 costumes now: 9 Numb, 10 Numb, Wilrow Hood. That's pretty cool. And I just boxed them up, ready to go. He's ready to go for Fan Expo. Next week, we're heading to downtown Vancouver for Fan Expo. Official Ten Numb costume, ready to go. Super excited. The process is done. It took too long. Took way too long, but I am thankful that the judges looked over it, gave me great feedback, tried their best to get back to me as soon as they could. And so, yeah. So, yay! Mission accomplished. Super happy about that. All right. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, please like, please subscribe. I'm still working on an AT-AT costume. Eventually, the armor's going to come in. I don't know what's happening with that one, but yeah, I'm going to work on my AT-AT costume. And I got some other videos coming up soon. I'm celebrating not only 5 years of trooping, but 100 troops. 100 troops. So I'm going to have some videos on Fan Expo coming up. Island Fan Con coming up, my 100th troop coming up. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to get some more videos with me and Jamie talking about Ghostbuster stuff as well for Ready to Believe. So stay tuned for that. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. Remember, armor and Cellists are built on hope. Bye. Yeah.